Welcome back Auto Reviews. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting and highly secretive developments in U.S. military aviation, the F-47 NGAD, America's sixth-generation stealth fighter. The year is 2025, and this aircraft is being discussed not only as a replacement for the F-22 Raptor but as the ultimate air dominance platform for the next 50 years. This isn't just a fighter jet, it's a glimpse into the future of aerial warfare, and today we're going to review its performance, capabilities, and the massive price tag that comes along with it. The Next Generation Air Dominance Program, known simply as NGAD, is the U.S. Air Force's most ambitious fighter project since the Raptor. While many details remain classified, enough information has surfaced to paint a picture of what the F-47 represents. Imagine a fighter that combines the stealth of the F-22, the sensor fusion of the F-35, and technologies we haven't seen before in any operational aircraft. That is the F-47. It's designed not only to dominate the skies against any adversary but to control the entire battle environment with advanced networking, AI integration, and hypersonic weapons. One of the first things you notice about the F-47 is its design. From concept renders and leaks, it has a sleek, almost alien shape. The airframe emphasizes stealth beyond anything currently in service, with blended wing body structures, smoother surfaces, and possibly even active camouflage systems that reduce radar and infrared signature dynamically. Engineers learned from decades of stealth operations and have pushed the boundaries further. Unlike the F-22 or F-35, the F-47 doesn't rely on one technology alone but integrates multiple forms of signature reduction across the electromagnetic spectrum. Performance is where things get jaw-dropping. While exact specifications remain top secret, defense analysts suggest the F-47 is capable of sustained supersonic cruising speeds without afterburner, also known as supercruise, at ranges greater than the F-22. Some reports hint at Mach 2 level performance with fuel efficiency that surpasses anything the US has fielded before. Range has been extended dramatically because the US knows that in a war against China or Russia, fighters must operate far from home bases and aircraft carriers. We are talking about thousands of miles of operational reach, thanks to new adaptive cycle engines developed by companies like Pratt & Whitney and General Electric. These engines can adjust performance in real time, switching between fuel efficiency and high-thrust modes depending on mission needs. Stealth and performance alone aren't enough anymore, so the F-47 is also an electronic warfare powerhouse. It is expected to carry advanced sensors that can detect and jam enemy radars, disrupt communications, and even disable enemy drones mid-flight. Imagine not just hiding from your enemy but blinding them and taking away their ability to fight. This jet is more than a fighter, it is an electronic predator in the sky. Weapons loadouts are another fascinating aspect. The F-47 carries everything internally to preserve stealth, but its weapons are far more advanced than what we see on today's jets. Analysts believe it will be capable of firing next-generation air-to-air missiles with longer range and higher kill probability than the AIM-120 AMRAAM. There are also indications that directed energy weapons, like lasers, could eventually be integrated, giving it defensive and offensive options never before seen on a fighter. Hypersonic missiles are another possibility, allowing the F-47 to strike targets hundreds of miles away at blistering speeds, making it nearly impossible for enemies to defend themselves. One of the most revolutionary aspects of the F-47 is its role as a network commander. This fighter is not alone, it is designed to fly alongside unmanned combat drones, sometimes referred to as loyal wingmen. These drones, controlled or coordinated by the F-47, can carry weapons, perform reconnaissance, or even sacrifice themselves to protect the manned fighter. This makes the F-47 a true force multiplier, turning one pilot into the leader of an aerial wolf pack. Imagine a single F-47 leading 5 or 6 drones into battle, overwhelming the enemy through sheer coordination and technological superiority. The cockpit is another area where the future comes alive. Pilots are expected to operate with augmented reality displays, advanced helmet systems, and artificial intelligence co-pilots. Instead of being overwhelmed by too much information, AI will filter data, suggest tactics, and even operate systems autonomously when needed. The human pilot remains in command, but the workload is dramatically reduced, giving them superhuman situational awareness. This kind of man-machine teaming is critical in modern warfare where milliseconds can mean survival or defeat. Now let's talk about cost, because this aircraft is not cheap. The F-22 Raptor, when it was first built, cost around $150 million per unit, and the F-35 ranges between $80 and $110 million depending on the variant. The F-47, however, is estimated to cost anywhere between $250 million to $350 million per plane, and that's before factoring in the drones it will control. This makes it the most expensive fighter jet ever conceived, but also arguably the most capable. Critics question whether the US can afford such a fleet, while supporters argue that air dominance is priceless in an era where near-peer threats are real. The performance-to-price debate is intense. On one hand, the US Air Force faces shrinking budgets and increased competition for funds. On the other, China and Russia are developing their own advanced fighters, like the J-20 and Su-57, and America cannot risk losing its technological edge. The F-47 is not just about winning dogfights, it's about maintaining global air superiority and deterring conflict before it begins. Training and maintenance will also shape the program. Unlike earlier jets that required extensive ground crews and maintenance hours per flight, the F-47 is designed with modular systems that can be swapped quickly. Predictive maintenance using AI means problems are detected before they cause failures. This should reduce downtime and keep more jets mission-ready. However, with cutting-edge technology comes high upkeep costs, and it's expected that the logistics tail for this aircraft will be among the most complex in history. Another question is numbers. Will the Air Force buy hundreds of these jets like they did with the F-16, or will it remain a smaller elite fleet like the F-22? Early reports suggest the US plans to acquire several hundred units, but the final figure will depend heavily on politics, budgets, and international tensions. Allies like Japan, the UK, and Australia have shown interest in sixth-generation fighter technology, so future cooperation or export variants could reduce costs. However, due to its sensitive technology, the F-47 may remain a strictly American aircraft for years to come. In terms of global impact, the unveiling of the F-47 sends a message to adversaries. It tells the world that the United States intends to remain the undisputed leader in air combat. For nations like China and Russia, it raises the bar. For allies, it provides reassurance. The mere existence of this aircraft shapes military strategy worldwide. In 2025, while the world debates rising tensions in the Pacific and Eastern Europe, the F-47 becomes a symbol of deterrence. But no review is complete without considering the downsides. The biggest concern is affordability. Can the US really afford to produce and maintain such an advanced fighter at scale? Another issue is over-reliance on technology. If AI systems are hacked or disrupted, what happens to the F-47's advantage? Finally, the pace of development is critical. Every year of delay gives adversaries time to catch up. The pressure on the program is enormous, and history has shown that defense projects of this magnitude often face cost overruns and political battles. Still, the excitement is undeniable. The F-47 is not just a jet, it is the spearhead of America's vision for air power in the mid-21st century. It combines stealth, speed, range, networking, AI, and next-generation weaponry into one formidable package. When you look at the price tag, yes, it's staggering. But when you consider the performance, the capability, and the role it plays in securing national defense, it may very well be worth it. As we move deeper into 2025, more information will continue to emerge, but one thing is clear, the F-47 NGAD represents the future of air combat. For now, much remains classified, but the glimpses we have are enough to spark both awe and debate. Whether you see it as an overpriced superweapon or a necessary shield for the free world, the F-47 is rewriting the playbook for air dominance. That wraps up today's deep dive. If you found this review of the F-47 NGAD fighter insightful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the US should spend billions on this sixth-generation fighter, or should the money be used elsewhere? Let's hear your opinion. Thanks for watching. Welcome back Auto Reviews, and we'll see you in the next one.